New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps, plus fries, and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
He said, let me make a phone call. So he called somebody by the name of Mo. I don't know if that's the owner, and that's all I know about his name. But anyway,
then
he
Curly and Larry called back?
This is the plaintiff, David Rigdon. He says he bought what he thought was an authentic Gibson Les Paul guitar from the defendant's shop. And a few days later, he discovered it was a knockoff. When he told the defendant about it, he didn't seem to care. He refuses to return his money and is nothing but a no-good liar. He's suing for $963, the amount he gave the crooked defendant who knowingly sold him a fake. This is the defendant, David Bernardo. He says he never told the plaintiff the guitar he purchased from his pawn shop was a Les Paul guitar because he's not a guitar expert. He runs a pawn shop, and people bring in all sorts of things. He sold him what looked like a beautiful guitar. The guy should have had it checked out if he wanted to make sure it was the real thing. And as far as he's concerned, this was an as-is sale, and he got the guitar as is. He's accused of stringing a guy along.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, David Rigdon, you are
Yes, ma'am.
suing Megapon, represented here by Mr. Bernardo. You're the manager. You have
Yes, ma'am.
authority to represent today. For $963, the amount that you paid them for what you thought was a real Gibson Les Paul guitar, 1996, correct?
Yes,
Which,
ma'am.
according to you, isn't. All right, tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I walked into the pawn shop. It had a grand opening sign out front, and I thought, well, I need to go in and check, see what they had, because I'm in the market for a guitar. So I walk in there, and I saw a Les Paul guitar hanging up on the wall.
Okay, how did you know it to be a Les Paul guitar?
Well, because I know the Gibson headstocks, I know the Gibson body shape of a guitar. So anyway, I saw it, and I asked Dave if...
Do you know him from before?
I don't know him
Okay.
other than just that day that I met him. But anyway, I asked him what year it was, and he said it was 1996.
Tell me, slow down. So you say to him, what year is that guitar?
I said, what year is that guitar?
And he says?
And he said it's a 1996 Les Paul Classic.
Okay.
So I said, well, could I take a look at it? And I put it in my hands, and I asked him if he had an amplifier that I could plug it into. Well, he had this cruddy old amplifier that it wasn't even old. I don't think it was just a cruddy one. But anyway, I plugged it in, and there was all kinds of crackling going on, but that could have been the cord, that could have been the amplifier itself. So anyway, I went ahead, and it sounded like a humbucker sounds, to me anyway.
It sounded like what?
A humbucker pickup. That's what are installed in Gibson guitars, is humbucker pickups.
Okay.
So anyway, I said, well, how much are you asking? And he said $1,100. And I thought, wow, that seems like a pretty decent deal. So I said, would you take an offer on it? He says, what are you thinking? And I said, $800. And he says, no, that'd be too low. I can't go that low on it. So I said, well, I'm gonna have to think about this. And he goes, I'll go 1,000. And just playing, the game there, I said, I'll go 900, and that's my final offer.
How did he get the guitar? Did you ask?
I didn't ask him, no.
He's a pawn shop.
I know.
Okay.
But anyway, he said, let me make a phone call. So he called somebody by the name of Mo. I don't know if that's the owner, and that's all I know about his name. But anyway,
and then
he
Curly
called
and
me.
Larry called back?
Well, anyway, I says, he called Mo, and Dave says, the defendant says, Mo, I've got a real guitar player here, And a lot of my friends that know me as a guitar player probably laughed at that because I'm not a professional guitar player.
Okay.
But anyway, he says that he wants to offer $900 for this Les Paul. And whoever Mo is says if he will pay the tax, we'll do it cash only. So anyway, it wasn't any big deal for me to go get the cash because my bank was basically down the street. It wasn't very far to go to get it. So that was basically it. I walked out with the guitar in my hand. I took it home and I plugged it into my amplifier. I've got it's a Fender Blackface Twin, which is they're nice amplifiers. They can tell you what a guitar is all about. Okay. I plugged it in and I kind of knew that this wasn't what I was hoping to hear. And so I opened up the two black back plates on the guitar, and as soon as I saw the pots
why didn't you open up the back plates when you were at the pawn shop buying
Well, it takes a small screwdriver to do it, and I didn't.
And they don't have that at the pawn shop?
Well, they could have, and I didn't ask.
You didn't ask?
I didn't ask.
Let's see the guitar.
So, sure.
What's going on? He says you sold him a fake and that you represented it as real.
I run a pawn shop. I'm no guitar expert, Your Honor. The gentleman, I took that guitar in on pawn. I did my due diligence when I take any item in. I did do some research on it. I gave a $300 loan on it. Typically, we do about 1/3 of what we think the value of the guitar is. After the pawn period expired, the guitar was forfeited to us. I put it for sale.
Wait.
Go ahead.
So when you gave the guy the loan for $300, you were assessing this as a $1,000 guitar.
Between $900 and $1,100 was my best
as a
guess.
Les Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
The pawn expired after the 3-month period.
So it ends up yours, and now you can sell it.
I put $1,100 price tag on it and I hung it in the display for
Did you put a sign or anything?
No, we have a guitar rack above the counter with all the
But
guitars.
did you put a sign or anything that said Les Paul or anything?
No, not at all.
Okay. So then when he comes in, what does he say?
He says, let me see the Les Paul Honeyburst guitar. And that's why most of the people that played guitars recognize that guitar. You can see it. It's a beautiful looking guitar.
And what did you say?
Sure. I said, are you serious about it? And he said, yeah, I'd like to play it. Plugged it in, and he played really good. I thought he was a good guitar player.
Okay.
And then everything he said is true. He said, will you take $800? I said, I think that's too low. I called the owner of the shop. His name is Moses. He goes by Mo. And I said, he offered $900. Will you take it? He said, absolutely. So I explained to David, I said, these sales are final. They're as is. There's no returns. I had him sign a receipt with that.
Let me see the receipt.
There you go. It also has the original pawn ticket. He left, he came back, he paid for the
Music
guitar.
equipment, Gibson Les Paul guitar, Honey. All sales are final, no exchange or refunds. All merchandise sold as is unless otherwise noted in writing. So basically, if I understand your defense, what you're saying is, hey, I thought it was a Les Paul, but I'm a pawn shop, and why it's not a representation if I'm saying it, because I'm just a pawn shop. It came to me that way, I sold it that way, and he should have be aware?
I would have been more than welcome if after he bought it, he called me and said he didn't believe it was real, and he told me he had taken it somewhere. I would have been open to him bringing an expert to us. I would love to learn as well, but.
Well, let's learn, because that little fellow over there, stand up, sir.
Hi.
Okay, tell me your name.
Mike Rock from Sam Ash Music.
So talk to me. What do? You work at Sam Ash?
Yeah, I handle their entire used gear for all 45 stores. I'm an expert in guitars especially, and Les Pauls are favorites of mine.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
Over a decade at Sam Ash and longer elsewhere.
Okay. Do you two know each other before this?
No.
No.
All right. So he brings you the guitar, and you see it, and how long does it take you to decide this isn't legit?
This?
Yeah.
The case wasn't all the way open before that I realized it was.
And what about
bogus.
it made you realize that it was not legit?
Welcome back to the People's Court, Harvey. 11 here. So, is this plaintiff entitled to get his money back from the defendant?
It's a touchy subject, but I think if the defendant was selling it in good faith and had no idea that it wasn't what he was exactly selling, then no, I don't think so.
So really, I've got a pair of shoes. I think it's worth like $2,000. So if I sell them to you and they're worth $100, tough luck for you. Yeah, when the shoe's on the other foot, that's the point. What do you think?
I think no. He's at a pawn shop. you know, you take for
So you take your chances?
take your chances.
Yeah, but the guy's representing a certain thing.
You have a certain responsibility as the owner to know what you're buying and what you're representing.
Wow, I thought you guys would be more pro-consumer going inside the courtroom.
It's got a cheap urethane finish as opposed to the lacquer finish. The headstock is shaped wrong. The binding is disgusting. It's got no attention to detail. There's a scarf joint here.
Gosh, you're not that good at this, are you?
I have a real one there that it doesn't even look like a classic model. I mean, they represented it as a classic. This is a knockoff, but it's a knockoff of a different model. I don't even know what. The end pin's even in the wrong spot. Everything about it is wrong.
I didn't bring my glasses. Yeah, it says, I was about to ask, does it actually say?
Yeah, sure it does.
Right.
It's intended to fool you.
Well, not very much if they put the pin in the wrong place.
Well, you know, I mean, it's like buying a fake Rolex or something. If you're not intimately acquainted with the model, you wouldn't realize the fonts are wrong. Or, you know, if people get fooled all the time by these.
What's this worth? I mean, is there value to a good fake? Is there value to a good fake Les Paul or not really?
I don't even think they're legal, but
right.
No,
exactly.
To me, there's no value. It's to me, I wouldn't even hang it on my wall. I find it offensive.
Okay, can I? I like him. Can you show me a real one?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right, this got a lacquer finish. You'll see immediately. And all Gibsons are high-end models, but this is not one of their super upper echelon models. This has got a high-gloss lacquer finish. There's no scarf joint. There's no messiness or ugliness anywhere.
You want the other one?
Can I have the other one to compare? And isn't this pin in the same place or?
No, it's slightly off.
Slightly off.
That one's about there.
Okay. Can we see the other one?
Thank you.
It's another thing too. The
up?
hardware is different.
Yeah. What else were you going to point out that's different?
The hardware is different.
Yeah.
It's a big screw over here. You see, this is slightly different.
Slightly off, yeah.
The heel shape is different.
And that's,
I mean, that's not what really makes the difference. This is not a quality-made instrument.
Right. So, do you folks sell that one, right?
Yes.
And what's that one cost at Sam Ash?
The original price on that was approximately $2,000.
The original price on that, what is it now?
Approximately $1,400, I'd imagine.
All right. Is there any question that it's not real?
The one that I don't even know the one that he showed me was real because I'm not a guitar expert.
No, I know, but you had said the statement earlier that you would be willing to listen to next. Yeah, now you listen to it. Now what?
I wish I had the ability for when items come in, like you see on the shows on TV, where they can call their guitar expert in, but I just don't have that luxury.
I'll give you my card.
I understand. No, hold on one second. Don't talk to him directly because let me tell you what the legal issue here is. The legal issue is your guy went into a pawn shop and was hoping to be able to get a really good deal, and he bought it at a pawn shop. He didn't buy it at Sam Ash. He didn't buy it from you. He bought it at a pawn shop, okay? So, you know, there's like a lot going on here. On the one hand, I understand that your theory may be, hey, you bought it at a pawn shop, and you signed something that says as is, and you took your shot. I didn't dupe you. I got duped. We all, you know, whatever. We're all just kind of floating along. It's a pawn shop. That's his position. I respect as is like nobody's business. But as is really talks about the condition of the thing. You sell an as is car, you can't whine that the car didn't run well. But it's still got to be a car. And if you sell something as, quote, Gibson Les Paul guitar, which is what's right on the receipt, it needs to be a Gibson Les Paul guitar. And I don't think, even though I think you should be careful at a pawn shop, I don't denigrate your profession to the point where I say, what do you expect? I don't do that. So I think that if you sell it as that, it has to actually be that. And I am going to order you to return his money, $963, verdict for the plaintiff. The guitar, imitation as it be, goes to you. And please be on notice at this point. You cannot sell that as a legitimate guitar, because then you guys would be in a lot of trouble.
Exactly.
All right? Good day, gentlemen.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, here he is, and he's got his Les Paul faux Les Paul with him. What's your feeling on the outcome?
Well, I mean, I understand the judge's position, but there's also part of the receipt that says no return. So even though she pointed out the as-is part.
She said she was showing respect for your profession and not sticking a customer with something.
And it certainly wasn't my intent.
Yeah, you don't want to be a pawn guy who goes, buddy,
right.
You bought it. It's your problem now, right?
Exactly. I think he could have done his due diligence prior to after the sale. He could have come in with someone to look at it.
Well, what are you going to do with the thing now?
Yeah, probably the same thing, that have someone look at it, let my own expert look at it and see what they think.
Right. It goes back on sale in the shop for a little bit less?
For a lot less.
Okay. All right, right down this way, all right? All right, come on in here. Here's the guitar player. He says you're a pretty good guitar player, but I guess you don't know enough about guitars themselves, right? Yeah, stay still. You feeling on this outcome here?
Well, I'm glad that the judge ruled in my favor, but the fact is that it's a Gibson knockoff. It's not a true Gibson. And
he took one look at it and knew in 1 second before he even opened the case that it was a piece of crap.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I play a lot of Fender guitars, but I wanted a Gibson. So anyway, I made a mistake by buying it too quick and all.
Well, listen, but this guy right here bailed you out.
Yes, he did.
Right?
Yes, he did.
What do you want to say to him?
Oh man, I thank him so much for showing up here, and I'm so glad.
Still want a Les Paul?
I do. I really do.
Let him help you get one.
So,
let him help you get one.
That's yeah.
Oh yeah. Harvey.
Here's the deal. By saying it's a Gibson Les Paul guitar, that is a warranty, folks, and therefore the pawn shop on the hook. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So our orders get all backed up. We're drowning in paperwork, then actually drowning, careless fighting off sharks with a stapler, and pirates are pillaging the office copier, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant goes beyond the resume, using unique insights to deliver a smarter shortlist. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Terms apply. See store for details. May be less than advertised. May vary by mood. Probably. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. So, no fast voice? No caveats. Just refreshment. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst.
This is the plaintiff, Nemencio Cunningham. He says he was coming home after a night out with his girl, parked his car, and heard a bang. Turns out there was a pole sticking out of the street, and his bumper was torn clear off his car. The defendant's company had been doing some work. They left a 1-foot pole in the street and didn't mark it with orange cones or any other method to warn drivers away. They owe him the $962.18 it's going to cost him to repair his car. This is the defendant, Robert Huttonlock. He says he was hired by a private homeowner to repair a sinkhole in front of his house, and he clearly marked off the area as a work area, and there were no poles left in the street. The careless plaintiff backed into a spot and hit a pole, which was on the sidewalk, not the street. How's it his fault the plaintiff wasn't careful parking his car by backing up too much and hitting something on the sidewalk? The answer is, it isn't his fault. He's accused of leaving an obstruction in the street.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff was parking his car with his girl inside when the car hit a pole and just creamed the vehicle. But the defendant says the plaintiff was blind and drove right into an area where he shouldn't have been. It's the case of, I got stuck by your pole.
Thank you, Douglas. Mr. Cunningham, you're suing Best Choice Plumbing, represented here by its owner, Mr. Huttonlock, for $962.18 in damages that you say happened as a result of their negligence. Tell me what happened.
Well, late in the evening, about 9:15, me and my lady, significant other, yes, Mr. Klein, we're coming home to her place. She lives on Irving Street, and it's dark outside, so, and I'll say this before I say that she's a driver too, so she's always looking out the mirror and so forth on her side.
Right. And she's a woman and a backseat driver, so okay.
More or less, she can be that if she wants to be. So she didn't say anything about, well, I see something, you can't park here. And I had known that there had been some work done there prior And the guy's trucks had been there a couple of weeks. But at any rate, this particular night, the spot was well opened. Nothing there to disturb it. I wouldn't get out and move everything just so I could have an accident and come in here and see you and be in your court.
Okay, you're saying that because you know that that's their position. They say that it was
right.
okay.
It's not
but according to you, it's an available parking space. It's what time of the night?
9:15, 9:10ish, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And so I parked in the spot back then, and when I went to turn my wheel into the curb, that's when the pole locked into my wheel, and I didn't realize what it was, so I'm going back and forth. And next thing I wind up tearing my bumper off.
Okay,
So,
come on up. What's your name?
Joyce Appline.
Okay, can you tell me what happened?
Well, basically, it was dark, about 9, 10 o'clock, something like that. We saw an open parking space. Can I say that it's like hard to, parking is very, limited, I would say. Okay. So we saw a parking space, so he went to park, and he backed up, and like he said, he got hooked, and he was trying, I guess, to unhook or whatever, but...
Were there any cones or anything around this area?
There was nothing there.
Had there been some work that you knew? He says he knew that there was some work going on there before.
Well, you can see that work was done, but it was nothing obstructing the parking space.
So you thought the work was over with?
Exactly. Nothing that, would say that was work done.
All right, so this happened on what day?
I'm not sure what day of the week.
Probably a Saturday.
What, was this recently?
No, 2 years ago.
Okay. When it happened, did you alert anybody? Like, in other words, did you call the police that night or anything like that?
Yes, I did have a docket from the police.
Can I see that? Did they write out a report?
They wrote a report, but they didn't write the report to me. They just gave me a docket number.
So you call out the police and the police go out there and you show it to them?
Yes.
All right. Do you have pictures?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. Let me see your pictures also.
This is the...
That's the docket.
Okay, thank you. Pictures.
Is this the item?
Supposed to, yes it is, yes it
Okay,
is.
what is this? Is it metal? What is it?
It looks
PVC?
like, it looks like it's a railroad tie, a railroad stake.
Is it wood?
No, it's metal.
And is this the curb?
Yes, it is.
So they left it right next to the curb?
Yes.
And it's in the ground?
It's in the ground. You couldn't pull it out, so that's why I figured it was a railroad tie. It was too deep in.
Oh, there's a good picture. This is taken what time? The next day?
That's the next day.
And what is this, a piece of wood?
Yes.
Did you ever see these pictures?
I didn't see those pictures, no. I seen a grainy copy of them.
How did you find out that they were the ones who had done the work?
I thought they were the city, so I went to the city.
You thought it was the city's fault, so you go to the city.
The city tells me it's not them, but I guess he contracts through the city, and so they had his name and everything, and they gave it to me, and I wound up having to take it to...
Okay, did you ever call him before you took him to court?
No, I didn't.
All right, can't you come make a phone call?
Your Honor, may I say this? I went to my union lawyer, and he got in touch with him. So
okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
You were a representative. So did you receive a phone call from a lawyer?
I received a letter from a lawyer on, it's dated September 12th of 2012. And in the letter, it states that the incident happened on March 10th of 2012.
Okay. And so tell me about your plumbing firm. Were you guys doing this work?
We did the work at that address on December 30th of 2011. We completed the repairs that day. I have a picture of how we left the job site when we left that day. We did return on January 8th and did the concrete repair on the sidewalk. And at a later date, the city came out and did a repair to the street. And that's the day that this incident happened.
Do you have some paperwork that shows that the city was out there doing some additional work after you guys were done?
I have a permit that I purchased for the city to do the street restoration.
Why would you purchase a permit for the city for this? Oh, you mean to do your own?
No.
Do the one you did?
In Philadelphia, when you purchase a street opening permit, the city does the street restoration. The plumber pays for the permit. The city sends a crew out to do the street restoration.
After you're done doing the plumbing?
After we're done doing the plumbing.
Let me see okay, so the date of the permit would be a date that you were done doing the plumbing?
Well, it was purchased prior to us doing the plumbing, but it's in that same vicinity.
Okay. You submitted to the court pictures of how you left the place. Do you have the pictures there, or
Yes.
are they on paper too? Because it always makes it harder for me.
It
to
is
see.
on paper, but yes.
It's on paper. Then let me just see it from my
They're pretty
iPad.
clear.
These are pictures of the work that you were doing there. Kind of. Do you want to
Yes,
see?
that's the pipes we installed.
Right. And that is where this thing is protruding out. Tell me what this is. If you haven't seen these pictures, I want you to see them. But take a look at that and tell me what that is. Because if your work was done there and you have pictures of how you left it, I want to see your pictures and I want to know who stuck that in the ground.
I don't know what this is. It looks like a pole sticking up out of the ground.
Right. Right where, and it also, if you look next to it, it also has, this sidewalk is messed up. It has not been repaired yet. You guys repaired the sidewalk.
The sidewalk is repaired in this picture that I'm looking at. The sidewalk next to where we were working is messed up.
Right here? This is right here?
You want him to come up?
I do. Can you come up here?
Right in this corner.
All right. This is not repaired. This is not repaired. This looks new.
That's where we were working.
Fabulous. Now tell me how you're, but what's this?
They're access boxes to the water.
Boxes.
Yes.
Right. And so what happens? I walk there, I trip, I kill myself, I sue the city. How did these end up getting covered?
They are covered. I think it's a bad angle on the picture.
I don't know. Both of them kind of show a divot going in.
That shows it does.
It just doesn't look like completed work. I mean, what's that big railroad thing doing there?
We didn't leave that there. I don't know what that is.
Who would put the railroad thing there?
You see the street here, where the street is all new black asphalt there? That work was done after we did our repairs.
Oh, okay. Can you prove that? I need to hear that from a source that's not the interested party.
I can show you the pictures of the work as when we left it that day, and then you can clearly see that the street has been restored afterwards.
And who does that street restoration? The city?
City of Philadelphia.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Show me what you're talking about.
Here's a picture of the street before it was restored.
Well, that's you in the middle of your work. That's not going to be persuasive to me. I want to see how your work is done and this isn't your work and all that. That's what I really need to see. In other words, you need to prove up what you're saying. You're telling me, Judge, this work, someone else is responsible for it. My work had already been done by the time this work was done. That's great. I just need the proof of that. So. City of Philadelphia Water Department plumber's permit.
When we pull that permit, the city comes out and does the street restoration afterwards. And you can see in the picture with the pole protruding that the street restoration was done at that point. Right.
So basically, if I find out that you don't do the street restoration that the city does, which frankly makes sense, because why would they allow private contractors to fix the street that's a public thoroughfare?
And you can see in the photo with the pole
I'm going to take a recess. If the city of Philadelphia does the street restoration, then it's the city who's liable to you. In any event, we're going to take a short recess while I figure out how this works with the city of Philadelphia.
All rise.
Okay, so I'm just curious, anybody have a sense of this? When you do street restoration, is that typically done by private contractors or is it always done by city employees? Anybody have a feeling about that? Anybody?
We always think it's the city doing it, but like these days, I'm assuming they hire somebody else to do it. I don't know. I mean, the city should do it, right?
Well, the city should do it. I'm just curious, it's kind of relevant to the case, going inside the courtroom.
All right, here's the deal. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
Your very pictures show that the city's been there because we contacted the Philadelphia Streets Department, and I'll give you the phone number, which shows, and they acknowledge that if in fact the asphalt is down there, that's because they've been there.
Right.
Now, I don't know why, if you had a lawyer didn't tell you have to sue the city of Philadelphia, because it's just as much effort for you to sue the city of Philadelphia as it is to sue him.
Right.
So that's what you're going to have to do. And I feel bad because you're a nice guy and a reasonable guy, and you're the only guy who, it can't possibly be your fault, but it also happens to not be his fault. Right. If this accident happened on March 10th, then it was. And not even that, it's this picture tells us this, that the city's already been there, and his job is concluded.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to sue the city.
Okay.
Okay? All right, good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, Judge Millian does her job, and that's good for the defendant. Not so good for you, not in this case anyway. So where do you go from here? You still have work to do.
Yeah, true, but it was a fair verdict. I wasn't blaming anybody. I just wanted culpable.
Well, she sent you in the right direction.
Yeah,
now.
I just
where
wanted
do you go
culpable,
from here?
that's all. And, well, I'll take the next step, as she mentioned, and see what happens from there. And at least I have some paperwork to take with me. And
all right, yeah. Good luck suing the city.
Thank you.
Yeah, the man, suing the man. right down this way. All right, so you successfully argue your side of this thing. Step in here. Are you satisfied how the judge saw this?
Yep.
Right? He sues the wrong guy. You had the right evidence. This ever happened to you before?
Several times.
What happens? Like, what kind of thing?
Just several instances similar where we get, when you're doing excavation work, everybody, wants to blame you for cars getting banged up, dirt on cars, stuff like that.
Okay. Harvey?
You know, the problem with suing a city, in many cities, most cities, they have immunity from civil lawsuits in many situations. So you can't fight City Hall mostly. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
These are the plaintiffs, Lancelot and Samantha Cox. Lancelot says the defendant, his ex-landlord, is as sneaky as they come. She promised them she'd send their security back, gave them nothing but the royal runaround, and is now giving them the royal brush-off. They cleaned the apartment till it sparkled like the top of the Chrysler building. They're owed every penny of the $1,325 the defendant is keeping from them. And that's why they're here today, suing. This is the defendant, Sean Harrison. She says the sneaky plaintiffs gave her only 3 days' notice before they took off, and she was quite frankly in shock. She didn't see it coming. They left her with one big mess to deal with, and they've gone plumb loco if they think she's going to return a penny of their security deposit, because in the end, she's the one who's owed money. She's accused of lacking in the landlord department. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,025 for back rent owed and additional damages.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiffs say they left their apartment squeaky clean, but their landlord screwed them by not returning the security. But the defendant says their idea of squeaky clean is delusional. It's the case of we're so clean, it hurts.
Thank you, Douglas. Lancelot and Samantha Cox, you are suing Sean Harrison, your former landlord, for $1,325. That would be your security deposit. And you are counterclaiming against them $2,025 because of damages plus rent. Let me hear from you first.
Your Honor, we moved on the 4th.
How long did you live there?
Samantha, my wife, lived there for 5 years. We got married and I was there for 2 years.
2 of the 5?
2 of the 5.
Okay. And what kind of place was this? An apartment, a house? What is it?
It was a one-bedroom apartment in a private house.
In a private house. Did she live there too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you had your own entrance and exit and kitchen and everything else, right?
Yes.
All right. So you decide to leave, and what kind of notice do you give her?
On the 4th of December, we called her and we notified her that we were leaving at the end.
What day did you leave?
We left on the 4th of January.
4th of January?
Yes.
Did you pay January rent?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And then you're suing for your security deposit. Your rent is how much?
The rent is $900 plus $25 for gas, Your Honor.
Now, if you stayed till January 5th and you didn't pay January rent, what's your theory on why you should get 5 free days?
Your Honor, we always pay our rent on the 7th, and I have a receipt when we pay the rent in December.
Okay, so it's from the 7th to the 7th is your rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, that's an answer. All right.
Here you go.
So hand that over to my bailiff, please. And do you have more than one receipt? Do you have a lease?
The last one, December.
Do you have a lease? Well, that
yes.
Is that going to show me that you always pay your rent on the 7th and that's where your lease runs?
I have all my receipts, Your Honor.
Yeah, let me see that, because then I want to see if Can I see your lease? That's really what I want to see.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want receipts as well?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see what the lease says is the period of time. Okay, your lease, okay, you may be paying your rent late all the time, but that doesn't mean you're entitled.
We always
The
play
lease
it on.
term is beginning on the 1st and ending on a 1st. It shouldn't say that. It should say if it begins on, that's bizarre. When you begin the lease on August 1st, 2012, you end the lease on July 31st, August 13th. It's the day before. But in any event, it says the 1st. You're supposed to be paying rent as of the 1st.
Yes, Your Honor. She gave us some grace period.
That's a grace period does not change your lease term. Okay, I got it. Why did they ended up leaving? Did they tell you why they were leaving?
Well, as I said, Samantha called me on January 2nd.
Okay.
She told me, Lance, this is
not December 4th?
No, not December 4th.
Okay.
She said, me and Lance are looking for somewhere. And then she called me on Thursday, January 4th, and said, Lance and I found somewhere, and we're moving on Saturday. I said, that's ridiculous.
Did you have a lease with them?
Well, the lease expired then.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's not ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, so...
Because you happen to live in a place, you live in New York City?
Yeah.
Right. Here's how the statute works in New York City. I don't think it's fair.
Right.
But when it talks about a landlord's responsibility, it says, and a landlord must give 30 days notice on a month-to-month.
Yes.
When it talks about the tenant's responsibility, it says no such thing.
The tenant doesn't ask to give 30 days, nothing. Okay.
And so they don't have to give you notice. So notice is not an issue, but I'll tell you what is an issue. They're still there in January and don't pay January rent. That is an issue. Okay. So you are also, however, suing for additional monies because according to you, they damaged the place.
Yes.
So talk to me about that.
The floors were damaged and there were a lot of holes in the wall and my husband can attest to it.
Okay, come on up. What I'd like to see is pictures.
And the pictures...
Because I got to tell you, you submitted a picture of a broken old tile.
Yes.
And first you tell me it'll be $500 to fix that.
Well, I had two estimates.
And now you tell me it's going to be $950 to fix it.
Okay,
and I'm not sure it's going to be $90 to fix it.
Okay.
So I'm a little annoyed because I don't like feeling like you're trying to inflate me.
No, Your Honor, I have two estimates. The last estimate was $925.
How come I saw like three estimates for $500, which was also already sufficiently bloated? Because it's an old tile. Two old tiles that need to be replaced?
So is the New York City law fair that a tenant can just bail without giving any notice?
No, I don't think it's fair at all. They have to give some notice, right?
Who's a landlord here? Who's a tenant here? Does any tenant believe that the law is fair? Interesting, huh? Not one tenant going inside the courtroom.
It was 7 tiles, and they were broken, and the tiles were in the middle of the living room.
These two pictures are of the same tile. It's the same crack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This
but I
would
had
be a
someone
different
come and
picture,
look at
but this
I
is
had
the
someone
same.
came, yeah.
This would be the same as this one. Okay, so I have a picture of 4 tiles. Where are the picture of the rest of the tiles that are cracked? I'm
Okay.
sorry, 1, 2, 3 tiles.
Okay.
Where are the picture of the rest of the tiles that are cracked? Where are the pictures?
The
You have them or
lines,
you
there were
don't?
tiny lines on
Do
the
you?
crack.
I don't want to hear
have
flapping.
the picture.
Exactly.
don't have the pictures.
I don't want to hear
have
flapping
pictures.
gums. You have a
But,
camera?
no,
and you're taking pictures.
All right, I don't
you
have
have 3 tiles.
Okay.
That's what you
Okay.
got in front of me.
Okay.
Because if you have the sense to take the pictures, I don't think that there's other stuff you didn't take a picture of. Now,
But
my
I have-
question to you is, how old are these tiles?
These tiles are over 10 years.
Was this like this when you got it?
Honestly, Your Honor, no. I think we're responsible for 2 tiles.
2 tiles. And how did those 2 tiles break?
You know, the grout was coming loose and they were a little unlevel. And eventually, I guess with the weight of the chair, because they were in the living room, they cracked. And that was the result of that.
Okay. What about the holes in the wall? You have a picture of holes in the wall, which I guess living there for 5 years, you hung stuff on the wall.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you didn't patch them up before you left?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's talk about what's what here. First of all, your rental period is from 1 to the end of the month. So it makes no difference that you usually are late on your rent. You don't get a benefit for that. All right. Now, so that means you owe January. Now, understanding that, here's how it works. You as a landlord have a duty to mitigate your damages. That means you have a duty to re-rent the place, which you did. But you only re-rented the place as of the 12th. So you don't get to get double rent for your troubles from 12 to 31. You only get to collect rent once. So that means that whatever rent they owe you for January is mitigated by the rent you received from the other party. So essentially, what does that mean? They owe you the 11 first days that you didn't get rent for. Because the one thing I know is that you shouldn't be out rent for January.
Yes.
All right. That means that they owe you rent for January to the tune of, when you divide it by the number of days, $328.22.
Okay.
Then we have a couple of damages. That's not worth the inflated prices that you're proposing to me. And witness how you have never paid $1,000 to fix those it's just silly. You don't get a new floor from them based on that. So I don't even see how the tiles being damaged by normal wear and tear would be their responsibility to begin with, because I don't know how much longer you can have on that. I'm looking at the tile, how much longer you can have on that tile than what you had on that tile. But assuming for the tile and the holes that they didn't patch and whatever else, you know, a certain something, it certainly would not be a certain something more than $200. So at most, what you should be able to keep from the security deposit would be $528.22. So I find that the plaintiffs are entitled to a return of a portion of the security deposit, the excess of what I've mentioned, which would mean a net judgment in this case in favor of the plaintiffs in the amount not what they're asking for, but instead $371.78. That would be the net judgment that resolves each of your lawsuits against each other. I need you to pay them back $371.78. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
So the defendant gets to keep $200 for some repairs and some mitigated rent, and the plaintiff will collect some of their security deposit back. What's your feeling here?
Well, the judge's decision is fair.
Yeah.
And you know, what can I say? I mean, I lost out on the floor.
You could say you tried to inflate the claim. You tried to inflate the judge.
No, I try to do the best I can to get my floors fixed.
You tried to bloat the judge.
No, I did not.
No, you didn't?
No.
All right. Head right around there with Officer McIntosh. You follow her down there. All right, so step on in here. You didn't get all your 900 security.
Absolutely not.
What about the ruling?
It's up to the judge, really. She gets to make the final say, but this landlord, I don't even encourage anyone to stay there because the place is always cold. You know, she does nothing, basically.
Well, how long did you stay there?
I personally stayed there 2 years. My wife stayed there 3 years, 5
3
altogether.
years. So how bad could it have been?
For 5 years, no heat.
Why'd you stay there so long?
It's just a matter of getting a place and getting the right place.
If it was so bad, you would have gotten out sooner.
I understand what you're saying, but, you know, sometimes, you know, you just have to wait until the time is right.
This case wrapped up here. Harvey?
Aside from New York City, almost everywhere, tenants have to give 30 days advance notice unless the lease provides otherwise.